Hey guys, this is your first lesson. I'm Shannon, also known as Aangie on the forums. I'm a fan forum moderator and a staff member because I run the fan art section. What I will be teaching you this week is drawing basics, which includes proportions on humans and some other little stuff here and there to teach you proportions and shapes and lines and guidelines and all that stuff that helps you become a better artist in general. But then on our second lesson, I will be teaching you how to take those rules and break them to create your own individual style, which is not an easy process. I'm still trying to find my style. So just because I'm teaching you these lessons does not make you an amazing artist instantly. You're going to have to take these lessons and practice a lot with them. But it's good to know the techniques before you get started, of course. Anyway, these are some things you're going to need. You're going to need, of course, paper. The magical canvas of life that is paper. This kind of paper, which is actually Bristol, which is really good for inking, but you don't have to use Bristol. Copy paper is perfectly fine. You can use that. I would recommend any kind of paper except grid paper, because that's not really good paper, and newspaper. Recycled paper is fine. If you would like to buy a sketchbook, I would recommend Strathmore. Very cheap, very efficient. I really like these kind of sketchbooks because you can flip them and they'll have all your sketches intact, and they're really good for if you're ever building a portfolio. One of these is perfect, so whoever's reviewing your portfolio can actually go through and look at them. So yeah, this kind of paper you want to use. For pencils, I have all kinds of different pencils. I'm going to lay them out before you. You got a mechanical pencil, nice thin lines, really smooth. Would recommend for light sketching. We got our basic number 2 pencil, which is good for anyone really, or any type of drawing. And then we go into the more advanced pencils, which are actually called drawing pencils. Really original name. They come in different kinds of values and sizes and stuff. This is a 4B pencil, which I believe is a lot softer. Yes. The softer the pencil is, the darker your value will be. So these are good for shading, actually, and sketching darker. Never ever use these cheap, crappy holiday pencils. The lead isn't good in them, and the erasers are really awful on them because they have all kinds of like polyester paint stuff on them that makes marks on your paper when you erase. So don't use those. I'm going to be using my awesome yellow Jesus eraser. I got this from my college. I'm not sure what kind of eraser it is though, but it's really nice and erases pretty good. Those are the 3 main things you're going to need in my lesson: eraser, pencil, some paper. For my later lessons, I would recommend getting one of these. This is an artist pen. I'm going to stick you with the more cheaper ones and affordable ones because some of you are beginners. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen. These are really nice for beginners. They can come in different sizes. This is a fine, so I would get fine, obviously. My pens that I use are Copic multi-liners. Copic is very expensive. They also make Copic markers, of course, but the Copic pens are really nice, and I love them, and I don't know where they are. Oh, here they are. They're very similar, except they come in sizes such as brush tip, which is good for thick lines and some coloring. And then we have a size that is 0.03, which is really tiny and good for very thin inks. So if you have some of these or you want to fish out a ton of money for these, be my guest because they're really nice if you're more into art than a beginner is. But if you're a beginner, go with these. Markers. I am not going to force you to buy types of markers I have because they're all really expensive. If you have Crayola, it's fine because we're practicing how to use color and mix it and blend it and all that stuff. These are Copic markers. I don't know that much about them, honestly, but they're just awesome. They blend a lot better, and they're beautiful, and they're pretty, and I'm not going to go into detail about that because that's not really important to the lesson. But, these markers have 2 tips, and I just dropped one set all over the floor. I'll pick that up later. Here, a brush tip, really bendy. Whee! And then we got a thicker tip, which is good for straightforward lines. And then I have some Prismacolors that I haven't used in a while. They're good for solid colors, but they're not as good at blending than these are. So they're both really expensive, so don't worry about spending a ton of money on them. If you have them, great. That would be perfect for the lesson. So, anyways, what we're going to do first is I'm going to teach you some basics of how to draw proportions on a face, and then we're going to move on how they relate to the rest of the body. So, that is what my lesson this week. I'm sorry in this video I keep stuttering and can't talk, but I hope you got all that information anyway. So, good luck to everyone, and I hope you're participating in the Fan Fest, and make sure you draw lots of earthbound art with your newly acquired art skills. Actually, skills are practice. They're not instantly, magically formed by going, I drew a face, whoa! This is all about learning, so what you learn, you need to practice so you can keep improving as an artist. That is so important. You can't instantly get something. So I hope you at least get the most out of this lesson, and good luck, and I hope to see you next week.